to my channel, Simply Mama D's. Today we will be making polenta lasagna. Before we get started, please subscribe, like, and share my page. More to come. So the reason I started this polenta lasagna recipe was because I had the lap band and I couldn't eat pasta, but I loved lasagna. Well, I found out how to make it, and now I'm going to show you how. It's simple, easy, and delicious, and you can totally make it ahead of time and save it in the fridge. What we're going to do first is just spray some non-cooking spray into the pan lightly, and I'm just making it for 3 people, so I'm using this size dish. If you're making it for more people, use a 9x13 or 9x11 pan. So here you use any type of pre-made spaghetti sauce, because you know I don't leave anything plain. We're going to dock it up. This is a roasted garlic from Trader Joe's. It's just a simple marinara. It's not the star of the dish. Cheese is, and the polenta. Go ahead and coat one thin layer of sauce at the bottom of your pan. And then you kind of want to just move it around, just like so, to coat the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and prepare the ground meat, either ground turkey, ground chicken. In this case, I'm using grass-fed ground beef. Now we're going to chop up some yellow onion. I like yellow onion. You can use white. And we're going to use this and 3 whole garlic cloves minced to add to the meat that we're going to brown for the lasagna. Now that the pan is a little bit warmed up and hot, I'm going to go ahead and add some grapeseed oil. You can use EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, if you prefer. We're going to just swirl this in the pan to heat it up. So we can now add the chopped onion to get somewhat translucent before we add the garlic in. I'm adding the chopped onions into the pan on medium heat. This is just to let them kind of brown up a little bit. You don't want them super brown. You just want them kind of like a golden color. A lot of people in recipes say translucent. You'll kind of see the difference here in a minute once it changes. Now we're mincing the 3 cloves of garlic now. We're mincing and peeling it. You don't want to have skin of garlic in your food. That's really gross. So I just lightly cut the ends off and then start peeling back the skin. And then we'll start mincing it. I'm not real picky about size. All have to be the same. I just want food to taste good, and I think you will too. This is the type of onion that we're looking for. It's a little bit browner than normal that I would normally do, but this is kind of my first video, so I'm a little nervous. But we're going to go ahead and add the garlic to this now and let it brown for about a minute or so. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the grass-fed ground beef. It's about a pound in here to brown. We're going to actually thoroughly cook it. Something funny you guys might find interesting about me, since most of you, when I was younger and a teenager, I didn't realize that you didn't rinse ground meat. And I decided I was going to make dinner for the family one day, and my mom caught me rinsing the ground beef, and she said, "What the heck are you doing?" And I said, "I am rinsing the ground meat." She goes, "You damn fool, you don't rinse the ground meat. You just cook it." I said, "Oh." So hey, if I can get to a place where I like to cook, and I started there, you can start from the bottom and be here too. As you'll notice, I like to layer my seasonings and spices. So I already added 3 fresh cloves of garlic. I just added some granulated garlic. I don't really measure, so I just eyeball to liking. Some black pepper and about 3 squirts of Himalayan pink sea salt, maybe 4. And you'll add that to the ground beef and the ground meat, and you'll mix it again to add the garlic and onion. You want all those flavors to combine. The meat is now done. You can choose to drain the fat if you have a lot of fat. As you can see, this grass-fed ground beef doesn't have a lot of fat, even though I did add a little bit of grapeseed oil at the beginning. I'm just going to leave it in there for added flavor, but if you use like a 70-30% fat ratio type of ground beef, you will want to drain it because it will be too greasy. Now while the ground beef is cooling, I'm going to pour this entire 16-ounce tub of ricotta cheese into a bowl, because again, I love layering my flavors. And we're going to add the same seasonings I used in the ground meat into this cheese. The sea salt, a little bit more garlic. Granulated garlic is my preferred flavor. I really don't care for garlic powder. It's just chalky. And here's some black pepper, not too much because we don't want it super spicy. And here's a little house herbs from Pasta and Company. I live in a different state, but this is in Seattle, and it is to die for. It's delicious. Not really to die for, literally, but it is so good that, anyway, we're going to add the seasoning of Italian spices to the ricotta, because I love adding extra flavor to this cheese, because then it just adds another depth of flavor to the actual lasagna. Kind of like you would a turkey sausage log or a Jimmy Dean sausage log. I'm going to just squeeze this polenta log out of this packaging. We want to keep it kind of in the log shape, and you'll see why. I'm all about ease of preparation. And now we're slicing the polenta log into thin slices, probably, I don't know, about 1/4 inch or less. It's pretty thin. It's going to mimic the pasta that we're missing, and it adds a nice smoothness to lasagna. You'll see when you make yours. Now we're going to lightly spread some of this ricotta cheese on the bottom. We've already layered one thin layer of polenta on top of the sauce. Now we're putting down our ricotta cheese mixture at the bottom here. Now we're adding some fresh organic chopped spinach. You don't have to add spinach, but I use this recipe as an excuse to add either spinach or mushrooms, just for a little added vegetable power for kiddos. Now we're adding the cooked ground meat with the onion and garlic mixture into the pan. Now we're putting our second layer of polenta onto the top of the meat. Again, this is to mimic kind of like a pasta type texture to the dish. We'll use all of them. Sometimes I save some for another meal, but not today. Then we just press it lightly into the pan. Now we're going to pour a light layer of the marinara sauce on top of here. This is a pretty heavy load in this pan, so I'm going to have to bake it on a baking dish because it might overflow a little bit, but that's okay. It's going to overflow with goodness. Now what I'm doing is I'm spreading all the sauce gently across the pan. I'm trying to get into the seams of where the holes are so that all the goodness and flavor flow through the casserole of lasagna, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and top it with the Quattro Formaggio cheese from Trader Joe's. It's got a blend of Parmesan, Asiago, Fontina, and mild provolone cheese. It adds a nice smokiness to this lasagna. Of course, use whatever Italian cheese you like. Now that you've got it prepared with about 1/2 package of the shredded cheese, you're going to go ahead and either put it in the oven on 350 for about 40-45 minutes, or you can put it in the fridge and cook it tomorrow. So now after about 45 minutes of cooking in the oven on 350, this is the delicious cheesy polenta lasagna. Absolutely delicious. And you can serve it with a side salad or by itself. Enjoy! Bon appetit!